In the same day, former President Trump steps out of Miami's federal courthouse.
We will win bigger and better.
He steps back onto the campaign trail. Win or go home for the Florida Panthers.
Ekblad with some room. Score!
As they try to force the Stanley Cup Finals back to sunrise. And the dangers associated with summer temperatures.
If you think about needing help, ask for it.
How you can keep your cool. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Kelly Sanchez.
I'm Paloma Pimentel. Today is Wednesday, June 14, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Coffee break between his federal court appearance and his campaign flight to New Jersey. Former President Trump made a stop at Versailles. The former president telling a federal judge he's not guilty.
Caplin News reporter Kenya Cardone was at the courthouse yesterday. She joins us this morning from the control center.
Former President Donald Trump appeared at the federal courthouse in Miami yesterday and pleaded not guilty to 37 federal charges involving the alleged mishandling of classified documents, and then went straight to spend time with his supporters.
But they will fail and we will win bigger and better.
A historic court appearance for the first time ever, a former U.S. president facing federal charges.
Food for everyone. Food for everyone.
Donald Trump appearing at the popular Cuban restaurant Versailles just minutes after his arraignment in Miami inside a federal courtroom yesterday, where he pleaded not guilty to the 37 federal counts against him, including allegedly mishandling highly sensitive classified documents and conspiracy to obstruct justice.
They've only charged him with 31 out of the hundreds of documents that they've seized.
During the proceedings, witnesses say that Trump appeared somber, even scowling during his arraignment. His aide and co-defendant Walt Nauta appeared with him in court, but didn't enter a plea because he didn't have a local attorney. Nauta is facing 6 charges, including conspiracy to obstruct and concealment, for allegedly moving document boxes at Mar-a-Lago at Trump's request.
If they're anything like some of the things we presented to Trump in the Oval Office and the Situation Room and the tank at the Pentagon, it could cause enormous damage, incalculable damage to the United States.
Prosecutors told the judge they don't consider Trump a flight risk and he's free to leave Florida with no restrictions, allowing the former president to travel to New Jersey for a campaign fundraiser last night as the case polarizes his own party.
We cannot take this lightly.
It's obvious what the president did was wrong. I just don't see it as a sham indictment.
It's very problematic. There's a reason I'm not defending it. I would like to find out all the truth of it. Obviously, if that's the truth, I'd be very concerned.
During his campaign fundraiser in New Jersey, Trump said he had, quote, every right to have these documents, and said prosecutors, quote, ought to drop this case immediately because they're destroying our country. In the control center, Kenya Cardone, Caplin News.
The saying goes, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and this morning what we're talking about is the Stanley Cup. After an unbelievable playoff run, the number 8 seed Florida Panthers finally got eliminated from the NHL playoffs last night, with Florida's best player out with an injury and the Vegas Golden Knights playing out of this world. It just wasn't meant to be. The coach says the season was special.
It was a wonderful gift from those players, those men, to the coaching staff. We really, truly enjoyed our lives this year.
The final score was Panthers 3, Vegas 9. The Golden Knights win this series 4-1.
Interest rates have been on the rise for some time now, and the Federal Reserve is deciding whether they should let it continue or put it on pause. As CNN's John Lawrence reports, the decision will be made today.
This may be an especially sunny month for Wall Street and U.S. households.
We've had more than a year of interest rate hikes, and it does appear as if those dousing of inflation fires, the efforts by the Federal Reserve, do appear to be working.
After announcing numerous increases since March of 2022, the central bank is hinting that it may skip one for June.
The Fed has been administering a kind of medicine in the form of higher interest rates since March of last year. And like a patient that needs to recuperate, I think Federal Reserve officials want to sort of stand back, make some observations about how the economy is handling all of that.
But even if the Fed holds steady, analysts say another increase could come later this summer.
I don't think any consumers are really ready to jump up and down and say that, oh boy, you know, the fight against inflation is over and it's off to the races with spending.
The Fed's 10 consecutive interest rate hikes have also played a factor with the U.S. job market, bringing an end to the so-called Great Resignation, when almost 50 million people quit their jobs in the 2 years following the pandemic. The government reports the number of people leaving their jobs dropped by 49,000 in April compared to March. And the so-called quitting rate is essentially back to the pre-pandemic average. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The Producer Price Index reports for the month of May are also due today, but investors say that's not likely to change the Fed's decision on June unless they show inflation rates are wildly above expectations.
After yesterday's trading day, the Wall Street Journal reports that Nvidia is the 7th American company to reach $1 trillion value. This year alone, the tech company displayed a 181% increase due to manufacturing semiconductors, which is crucial to advanced artificial intelligence. In the past, this company was known for making PC gaming technology.
Today, 45 million people across the South are under the threat of severe weather storms. Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi are some of the areas that will be affected. The Storm Prediction Center says some areas might get large pieces of hail, strong wind gusts, and tornadoes. 2 rounds are expected to develop, the first in the early afternoon and a second stronger one during the evening hours.
Today is the first day that the National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory under the new rules pushed for by Miami-Dade lawmakers. Caplin News reporter Amanda Gray has advice from experts on keeping cool on hot days.
Summer is now in full swing, but according to the CDC, 700 Americans are dying annually due to heat illness. Here's what you need to know.
The temperature is rising, and so is the danger of heat illness. Each year in the United States, over 67,000 people visit emergency rooms due to heat. While anybody can be affected, the CDC says that the most susceptible include anyone 65 and older, as well as people with high blood pressure and those who work outside. Dr. Christina Butler with the Mayo Clinic warns people to be aware of heat illness.
Heat exhaustion can occur very rapidly.
Heat symptoms include heavy sweating, cold, clammy skin, a weak, fast pulse, and loss of consciousness. If you experience these symptoms, experts say to call 911, drink water, and get out of the heat.
If you think about needing help, ask for it rather than delay.
The Earth is expected to continue heating up at a rapid rate due to the effects of climate change. With this in mind, people are being encouraged to avoid being outside during the hottest times of the day.
Waking up a little bit earlier to enjoy the sunrise and maybe spending more time outside over the sunset, because those moments of less extreme heat can allow us to be outside enjoying fresh air, but also being safe.
This summer, it's important to stay hydrated and to stay vigilant about heat illness. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Amanda Gray.
A late night for any Marlin fan who wanted to watch the game against the Mariners on TV.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
Tell he's already disoriented, not able to focus, so poor guy looked like he was pretty scared.
An offshore bloom of algae causing big problems for marine mammals. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes. What?
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Six sea lions in need of help, and marine mammal experts blame a dangerous bloom of algae. Marine mammals near Los Angeles are in danger of dying due to a toxic algae in their food chain.
There have been emergency rescues off the coast of California as more dolphins and sea lions have died offshore. Inside of the fish that these animals eat, there is a high amount of toxins in the algae that cause them to be infected. Rescuers are doing all they can to save these marine animals from dying.
They can dissipate the toxin from their body within a 24 to 72 hour period. If we can get to them and get fluids in them and other treatments, we feel it helps them out.
More treatment and investigation on sea lions, dolphins, and other marine animals are underway by marine institutes.
The Panthers weren't the only South Florida team that had a 3-9 loss last night. The Miami Marlins haven't been doing so well in Seattle against the Mariners. Much like the Stanley Cup Finals, the South Florida team was down 1-5 halfway through the game. Luis Arraez also had bad performance, hitting 0 for 5 after being named the MLB's leading hitter. The final score was Marlins 3, Mariners 9. The two teams will face off tonight at 9:40 p.m. for the last game of the series. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I am Paloma Pimentel.
I'm Kelly Sanchez. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.